my name is Benita Ezumezu, and we are live at the Voice Closeout event. It's beautiful because, like we all know what Voice does, they're a very amazing organization that tries to support local organizations to actually do something that has global relevance. And it's very interesting because their work or their support cuts across various sectors regardless of what you do as an organization, as long as you maintain social impact. And that is a very nice thing. And then with me today is somebody that, with the very first time I met him and he introduced himself to me, I actually thought he was fooling around or playing around, and I'm like, okay. And honestly, he is the only person that bears that name, but I'll allow him introduce himself so that you can also be amazed at his name. So tell us your name and your organization.
Okay, my name is Mary, and in full, Martin Mary.
I told you.
I am the CEO and founder of Kids and Teens Resource Center, which is a non-governmental organization established to equip young people with knowledge and skills that they can use for self-development and also contribute to national development.
Oh, amazing. I told you. So his name is Mary, and Martin Mary. This is the first person that I've heard or I've seen that bears that name. So thank you again, Martin, for coming. Or I would rather say thank you, Mary.
Mary, that's my name.
All right, for being here today. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about why you actually went into the development space?
Wow.
More like your motivation.
Thank you very much. I can call myself one of those privileged children who had a silver spoon because my father was a millionaire on its own. But going to a public school, I met with friends who have come from other backgrounds that daily I weep. Some could not afford to pay school fees. Some could not afford to even go to school. Some could not afford 3 square meal. Some, the clothes they wear, despite being my friends, I wish to remove mine and clothe them. So this has been my motivation, and I don't want to see anybody hungry. I don't want to see anybody suffering. Your suffering is my suffering. Your whatever challenges you are facing becomes mine. So as a driving force, this kept me on helping people until I grew up to discover that there are still some set of people who are affected by diseases, HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, and the like. And majority of them are becoming, marginalized also in the society. Because you're living with HIV, you don't want to have a friend, then I'm ready to have you as my friend. Nobody wants to marry you. If it were possible, I will marry all the persons living with HIV. So it's like the driving force within me that is like trying to put a smile on the face of people. So, oh my God. It's not something that is easy because you see a lot of people, what they look out for is daily what they can use, like money. How do they get money? Money is none of my business. I'm not out because of money. I'm out because of the impact I can make in the life of people.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I can see your passion on how you want to help people. I know how difficult it is, right, to actually have the mind to want to support people and lift people from poverty or help people that has health challenges like HIV, like you rightly mentioned. But how would you say Voice has actually supported or enhanced your work?
Okay, so in the work that we are doing with Voice, it was a multi-country project that I handled. Worked in Nigeria, Mali, and Ghana because of the issues affecting the sexual minorities, issues affecting persons with disabilities, issues affecting persons with albinism, issues affecting those that have been, seen as people who are nobody again in the society. Social amenities, they are being excluded. Welfare, they are being excluded. So we now look at the issue that is cutting across African countries. There is no meaningful engagement or involvement of persons with disability in matters that affect them. And that's global spectrum, nothing for us without us. So we wrote our proposal, and for me to work effectively in starting with Ghana and Mali because it's francophone, and then Ghana to work together with us. We build partnership with other organizations that are there. Society for AIDS in Africa from Ghana, Arcade Santa Claus in Mali, which speak French, but they have a staff that is a mix, speak both French and English.
Nice.
So it made us to be able to work together because we've been working together for years on HIV and AIDS. So now to know what the problem is in Nigeria, to know what the problem is in Ghana, and to know what the problem we want to address is in Mali, we need partners who are already working in these places. So for Nigeria, I chose again the Nigerian Peer Review Forum to work with me in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, we are two. In Ghana, we have Society for AIDS in Africa, and over there, we have Santa Claus, Arcade Santa Claus. So all of us, looking at what we've been doing over the years on HIV and AIDS, we discovered that many of our persons living with HIV and AIDS across board are not involved in the decision-making processes or matters that has to do with HIV. So through this project, Voice was able to support us, and we now have a person living with HIV who is now a member of the country coordinating mechanism in Nigeria.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes, we have a representation in Nigeria, we have a representation in Ghana, and we have a representation in Mali.
Wow.
And what we did, we brought the marginalized population, key and vulnerable populations together. We have those in the LGBTQ community, we have persons with disability, we have persons living with HIV, we have young people, we have adolescent girls and young women, we have young people and people with albinism, all of them under one umbrella. They came together and they were able to see that there are cross-cutting problems that affect them as far as budget and tax is concerned. So our project looked at issues around tax and budget. You can't plan for me if I'm not aware of the processes. So we participate in budget and tax processes in country, in each of the countries. So the project now has made us to economically empower them to be able to demand for their rights. After the research training, we push them to go and ask from the people in authority, why are you not involving us in your programs? And some of them pledge involvement.
Wow.
And after pledge, we've seen at least Connected Development has invited some of our rights holders to participate in budget monitoring activities. So it's been wonderful how this project has given us opportunity to mix with other people. We work in collaboration with persons with albinism. We work in collaboration with persons with disabilities. In fact, because of the project, we now have a staff that is living with disability that is with disability, working with us as a staff. We are not looking at the disability, we are looking at what he has
can bring to the table.
And perhaps one of the most dutiful staff that we have in the organization.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, you're doing a lot. You're really doing amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you to Voice for actually making that platform possible. Okay, talking from everything you've said, I can see that you have wide knowledge in partnerships. So how do you think, because you had gone to partner with organizations in Mali, in Ghana, and I think that is something that we need to do a lot more in the non-profit sector, right? So how do you think that NGOs, civil society organizations can, partner and better leverage partnership to do great work across different countries?
All right, so I think it's a simple task from local to international.
Yeah.
At the local level, you want to do a campaign, you don't have the resources, then you are limited. You shouldn't be limited. Think of, there is an organization who can provide banner. There is another organization that is based at the community who can mobilize the people. You have the idea of what the subject matter you want to campaign about. At the end of the day, by the time you go into local partnerships, the project is done. At the national level, you need government enabling environment. you need some NDAs of government to participate in your program. You're not seeking for funding from them. It is they getting a buy-in into the issue that you want to fight for. And at the end of the day, you see that if it is not saying give us money,
They
you
will
have
be
their full support.
interested,
So partnership
right.
at that level also is really working. And by the time you now look at it at the global level, partnership gives you opportunity to learn from best practices. What works in other country, what works in your country. You do cross-fertilization of ideas. You share what you're doing that is working with them. They also share with you what is working. And before you know it, these little partnerships creates room for funding opportunities. That's how it's working.
Wow, thank you very much. That was amazing. I mean, the understanding that it's not all about money. It's about ideas, it's about capacity, competencies, enhancement, and then collaboration. The whole beautiful thing about this is that if organizations, just like you rightly said, can understand how to, collaborate and explore innovative solutions, it would enhance what the work that we do.
Or if you collaborate with the media,
Right.
you have already media backing.
Right.
So
Very
rather
true.
than looking for how do I invite the media to events, right, to collaborate, let us do this together. So what they are bringing is the media coverage. What you are bringing is the idea. At the end of the day, we share the logo. This is the media logo. This is our logo. It's partnership.
And this is government logo.
Logos
This
there,
is
they give them LinkedIn environment. That's fine.
wow. That is amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I really learned a lot. Something new today. The importance of not just leveraging money, but also leveraging other things that could actually contribute.
If you want to partner, rather than looking for all of over £1 million, partner with a school that has such facility. There are school walls that will also be very appropriate for your intervention. The school authority there is a partner. Let their logo also come on the banner that this we are doing to the people. What are they providing? Space.
Infrastructure.
Partner with local communities. Communities have meeting spaces. So they are also partners. They are providing the space.
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
contribution. And then one last question before I go. So what would you say from what you said your father was a millionaire. When you mean millionaire, you mean, so would you say that you were able to get into this space because of your background, coming from a rich family? Let me ask that. Would you say it's because of your background that you were able to come into this space?
Well, I shunned my background.
Okay.
I did not take from my father's swear to God.
So that's
I was doing my passion. I ran away. Anywhere I go, I don't want people to say, "Oh, that is the son of so person." Otherwise, it may create a barrier between you relating with me well. See me as me. My father is the one that is rich, not me.
you.
So take me as your friend. Feel free with me, and in that, whatever you have, you can share with me. Whatever I have, I share with you. That's
So, lastly, to add to that, what would you advise individuals or emerging organizations that actually have something meaningful to do, but unfortunately they are tied down because of resources, and then they have the whole idea of, most times people are like, oh, it's because his father is rich, that's why he was able to do that. Sometimes for people that were able to leverage their parent resources or their family resources. So what would you advise emerging organizations, individuals that actually have innovative ideas but are probably limited because of resources, or are thinking the resources are their limitations?
I think I will first of all start by saying being the wife of my father was helpful in a way. Because if I come to you that I need money to help the less privileged, you won't think I want to eat your money.
Right.
So people could easily trust that, oh, it meant what he was saying.
Okay.
Than for me to have come from a poor family and then coming to the space to request for money, you think I'm hungry. So that's one side. But in all, money is not supposed to be a barrier to you achieving your dreams if you are passionate about a cause. Civil society work requires passion and commitment. It also requires perseverance. when we started, I never anticipated that there would be a day I would be getting grant from somewhere.
Wow.
My intention for starting was to see what we can do to do social reconditioning, to ensure that this boy is not misled into going into antisocial
crime.
activities.
Yeah.
That this girl does not get pregnant while in school. That this one does not get himself or herself infected with HIV brain or. So those were the driving force that was there. So for you to start your own organization, the journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begins with a step. But that step must be in the right direction. Meet up with organizations who are already established, ask them questions, put your ideas together, write proposals together with already established organizations so that it's your own also will carry weight. Establish, do the right things. Even if you don't have money to register with CAC, carry out activities that you can document. Even if it is once in a year activity, roll it out, let people know what you are doing. But aim to register on time, aim to have an office, aim to have a team of even if it is volunteers that you can start with that will be working with you. Then from there, little by little, projects will start coming out. Organizations will want to support little startups. There are funding opportunities that are not meant for organizations who have arrived.
Yes.
There are funding opportunities that are targeting little startups that you can use to buy laptop, pay for office space, and if you don't have all these opportunities, you can partner with an organization. If you come to my organization, you may say to where you are, we can share space. I give you a table and a desk. That's your organization.
Oh, wow.
So this is what I think already established organizations can do to help the emerging organizations. You must have policy documents, your constitution must be sound, you must have succession plan, you must have finance policy, procurement policy, all those small documents. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. If I give you mine, just change and internalize and be sure that this is what is okay. What is not okay for you, delete it. The ones you want, add it. The template is there already as a best practice for all organizations. So if you start small, even when your idea is a very big one, think big, act small. It will be easy for you.
Wow, so there's a quote I'm taking out from this, which is think big, act small. And of course, little, they said the little drops of water makes an ocean, right? Also, Rome wasn't built in a day, so you always
little
have
by
to
little
start.
You get there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mary, for this amazing conversation. It was really nice having you here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.